From the Permanent Library of Aquarian Foundation of Seattle, The Church of Tomorrow Here Today. Titled, The New Testament, Bible Lesson Number 3 from the King James Version of the Bible. By Reverend Walda Solobaki, for Aquarian Foundation. All rights reserved. Copyrighted by Aquarian Foundation of Seattle. The complete lesson can be found in the April 2026 issue of the Aquarian Foundation, Psychic Observer, and Chimes Journal. Walda Solobaki of Seattle, King County, Washington, was born on December 1, 1887. She died at the age of 93 in May 1981. Reverend Solobaki was a devout member of Aquarian Foundation until her demise. Reverend Solobaki created an extensive Bible study course for Aquarian Foundation so that members of the church could study the finer and important nuances of biblical verse.
The lesson today begins with Mark chapter 4, King James Version of the Bible. Jesus, according to the Gospel of Mark, had started his ministry by going into the synagogue and there filling people with astonishment that this man, who was one of their community, could speak with such authority. Jesus started his healing ministry and demonstrated psychic phenomena. Naturally, great power came with these demonstrations. The healing demonstrations and his words of authority drew crowds to Jesus, and so he used this time to teach. Teaching new truths was the purpose of Jesus' incarnation. The new ideas, new forms of wisdom, and new seeds of truth that Jesus promulgated was the objective for the people of earth at that time. What Jesus taught at that time became the foundation teachings for the new age of Christianity. Mark chapter 4 documents the beginning of Jesus' teachings. We begin with verse 1. And he began again to teach by the seaside, and there was gathered unto him a great multitude, so that he entered into a ship and sat in the sea, and the whole multitude was by the sea on the land. In other words, by that time there were so many people that were coming to hear Jesus teach that he could not stand on the ground, so he got into a boat and stationed himself just outside the crowd, lined on the shore. Verse 2, and he taught them many things by parables, and said unto them in his doctrine. Verse 3, hearken, behold, there went out a sower to sow. This particular parable is the first of his teachings, and its meaning is the same as what we would mean today. Putting our feet on the path, the beginning of spiritual unfoldment. As the parable unfolds, you will see that is what Jesus is actually teaching. Those who are now ready must put their feet upon the path of spiritual knowledge. Verse 4. And it came to pass as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls of the air came and devoured it up. 5. And some fell on the stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprang up, because it had no depth of earth. 6. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it withered away. 7. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up, and choked it, and it yielded no fruit. 8. And other fell on good ground, and did yield fruit that sprang up and increased. Parables are worthy of a little explanation. It was the literary custom of that day in the East to teach in parables. Parables are a twice-told teaching, or stories, which emphasizes the point that is being made. A parable tells a story. The meaning of the story is explained in order to bring home the point of the story. First, a story is given to create a thought within the mind, followed by an explanation of the meaning of the story. Jesus used this Oriental custom of teaching the parable. This parable was for those who were ready to set their feet upon the path of spiritual knowledge and would realize what Jesus meant. The seed fell on different grounds: road, rocky, thorny, and good. The good ground yielded fruit 30, 60, and 100 times. 10. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. In essence, the disciples were asking Jesus, now what is the meaning of the parable? What is the inner teaching of this parable? What is the actual meaning of it? 11. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God, but unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. The way Jesus taught was the way of the Oriental teachers. We must be able to read between the lines. Jesus held seances when it grew dark and the sun was not shining. Whenever it was dark in the early morning hours or at night was when Jesus and the disciples prayed or held their seances. And he said unto them, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. When they asked Jesus the meaning, he explained that the seed is the word, and the ground represents the spiritual state of people. The seeds among thorns are choked by material cares and lusts. The good ground bears fruit. Jesus is telling the disciples that those who see but do not perceive and hear but do not understand are not ready for the spiritual truths. He emphasizes that understanding comes after preparation. To you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. And he said unto them, Is a candle brought to be put under a bushel or under a bed, and not to be set on a candlestick? For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. The kingdom of God and the kingdom of heaven are the same. Jesus is telling the disciples, you know something about this life beyond ours, but these people out here know nothing. Jesus had come to teach about the kingdom of heaven, about the kingdom of God. Even in today's times, we call those who try to contact beyond our own earth mystics. That is of what Jesus was speaking. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. Verse 12, that seeing they may see and not perceive, and hearing they may hear and not understand, lest at any time they should be converted and their sins should be forgiven them.